YWCA Career Women of Achievement.
Welcome to the 2020 Career Women of Achievement, presented by YWCA Greater Cincinnati. As the media sponsor, Local 12 is honored to host this broadcast, the first of its kind in the 41-year history of the YWCA event. We recognize this pandemic is a difficult time for everyone in our area, and our community agencies like the YWCA have gone the extra mile to continue serving clients during this public health crisis. They are on the front line and demonstrating many heroic acts. We are proud to stand by their side.
People want to be a career woman.
It's life-changing.
I said, "Ooh, this is awesome."
I was speechless, and that's really hard for me.
The Career Women of Achievement are like this legion of powerful, fierce, dynamic, game-changing women.
The annual YWCA Career Women of Achievement event recognizes and celebrates remarkable women who have excelled in their careers. It's also the YWCA's largest annual fundraising event. We have a number of groups gathered around the city tonight, so hey folks on Fountain Square, thanks for being with us. And to the Duke Energy Convention Center, thank you for lighting up our city in orange. And to the many folks at home, we really appreciate your support for the honorees and the student scholars who are being honored this evening. Now, I'd like to welcome the 2020 co-chairs of the event, Dr. Lakshmi Samarko, Hamilton County Coroner, and Debbie Hayes, Vice President and Chief Operating Officer, the Christ Hospital Health Network.
Thanks for joining us for the 41st Annual Celebration of Career Women of Achievement. Debbie and I are thrilled that Local 12 is hosting this event during what are very unusual times. And we thank our presenting sponsor, the Charlotte R. Schmidlap Fund Fifth Third Bank Trustee, for their continued support. Our sponsors make our programs possible, and for that we are most grateful. We'd like to give a special thanks to our top-level sponsors currently on your screen, and you'll see additional sponsors throughout the program.
The annual Career Women of Achievement event is the region's largest luncheon and hosts over 2,000 people. Traditionally, it has been held at the Duke Energy Convention Center, a wonderful partner of the YWCA for many years. However, this year we had to change things up a little bit. It's hard to keep social distancing with 2,000 of your closest friends in one room. This event is the YWCA's opportunity to celebrate our community's phenomenal women. In addition, we will recognize 2 scholarship winners who have overcome significant adversity.
Since 1980, the YWCA has honored 322 outstanding women who are now members of the YWCA Academy of Career Women of Achievement. Tonight's honorees will become part of that academy. To view those recognized over the years, visit our website at ywcacincinnati.org. Congratulations to all the honorees.
We would love for you to share the excitement of the evening's events with all of your friends at #ONAMISSION. And throughout the year, you can follow us at #ONAMISSION or on our handle at YWCA Cincinnati. You can also begin to challenge your friends and colleagues with our Text to Give opportunity. You'll hear more about that later in the program.
The YWCA works vigorously to live the mission to empower women, eliminate racism, and promote peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. Last year alone, the YWCA served more than 8,515 people, most of whom were fleeing domestic violence. While all the YWCA programs are important, safety is the first concern. Domestic violence shelters, unfortunately, are more important than ever. We want to share with you, our neighbors and friends, why we're so passionate about being on this mission to save lives. We want you to know we filmed this ahead of the pandemic when social distancing wasn't an issue. Please be warned, if you have experienced abuse or know someone in an abusive relationship, this video could be a trigger.
Have you ever felt like nobody was there?
None of our family members thought that he would ever hurt her, and he ended up doing it.
Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere?
This individual basically controlled her.
Have you ever felt like you could disappear?
My daughter died with one hell of a secret. We did not know of abuse before she died.
Like you could fall and no one would hear.
And then he would come up and get the gun out of the holster and stand by the bed. I never knew if he was going to kill me or not.
Well, let that lonely feeling wash away.
When you're in a violent relationship, get out. And getting out is the part that's the hardest.
Maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay.
Now we know the warning signs like the controlling behavior and the threatening of her animals, and that she was also leaving, and that's when the abusers will kill.
'Cause when you don't feel strong enough to stand, you can reach out your hand.
There's a place where we don't have to feel unknown.
Thank you for calling the YWCA. How can I help you?
You gotta have somewhere that you can feel safe.
And every time that you call out, you're a little less alone.
Go to a shelter, please. Save yourself.
If you only say the word.
From across the silence, your voice is heard.
The YWCA saved my life emotionally and spiritually.
Have some sort of hope and just know that everything's going to be okay.
That security, that trust, that's immeasurable and invaluable.
Without help from the YWCA, I probably wouldn't be here.
You will be found.
You will be found.
You will be found.
One in 3 women will experience domestic violence in her lifetime. Think about that. If you're sitting with 2 friends or 2 of your female relatives, it could be one of them or it could be you. When you need help, call the YWCA hotline. It's not a healthcare facility, but I would put to you that they have saved more lives than a lot of healthcare facilities and do so on an annual basis.
And now I'd like to introduce the YWCA President and CEO, Barbara Perez.
Good evening. The YWCA's mission to eliminate racism, empower women, and promote peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all has never been as relevant, unfortunately, as it is today. And the 2 core areas of our work, domestic violence and racial justice, are being tested as never before. Systemic and structural racism are deeply prevalent, as the tragic murders of George Floyd and others over the last few weeks has demonstrated. the YWCA Greater Cincinnati is taking this critical point in our history to declare racism as a public health crisis. And we will be identifying action steps we can take to work against this in the days ahead. We look forward to you being a part of the conversation.
It has been said that the only time you should ever look back is to see how far you've come. At the YWCA of Greater Cincinnati, we know how far we've come. But we also know we're a long way from where we need to go. And so, we get stronger. And we work harder. We step over old barriers and tear down new ones. Because we know what it's going to take to get it done.
We like to think that during this pandemic, our homes are safe havens. However, for those experiencing domestic violence, it's the least safe place they can be. Abusers are constantly present and under significantly more stress, making an increase in domestic violence a cruel side effect of this pandemic. Due to the COVID-19 virus and to keep our survivors safe, it was necessary to move families from our 2 domestic violence shelters into individual hotel rooms, costing us over $38,000 each week. We recognize everyone watching tonight has been affected financially, emotionally, and psychologically by this virus. For survivors, the effect is more dangerous. Calls to our hotline have doubled so far, and we expect them to continue to increase. This leads to our expanded need for funds as we anticipate the need for services to continue to rise. The dollars raised during this program go directly to our domestic violence programs and services. $25 feeds 20 survivors living in shelter for a day. $50 supports 2 survivors needing court advocates. $75 covers shelter and services for 1 night for a survivor and their children. $100 allows 5 survivors to attend weekly support groups. By supporting the YWCA, you will provide protection, guidance, and resources that help women, men, and their children lead a life free from violence.
So now we ask you to support friends and neighbors experiencing domestic violence. Just send a text message to the number 44321. Then in the message, type "on a mission," all one word. Finally, click the link in the reply message to fulfill your pledge. Chances are you know someone who will need the YWCA's services. Making a gift is easy by using your cell phone, and no gift is too small. The YWCA cannot provide the services and programs we do without you. Thank you for your investment in YWCA Greater Cincinnati and in being a part of the solution to end domestic violence. So please, everyone, consider making a gift now. I have been privileged to be a part of the Career Women of Achievement and honored to be associated with the YWCA Greater Cincinnati for many years. So it's my pleasure to introduce the first award, the Mamie Earl Sells Scholarship presented by Kroger. Personally dedicated to the YWCA during the last decade of her life, Mamie Earl Sells was committed to young people, promoting programs that encourage them to expand and improve their lives. The scholarship provides financial assistance and support to an outstanding African-American female high school senior who has overcome adversity and is entering a post-secondary institution. The 2020 Mamie Earl Sells Scholarship, presented by Kroger, goes to Talia Grant.
I live by the quote from Gandhi, "Be the change you wish to see in the world."
Introducing Talia Grant, an 18-year-old senior with a 3.9 GPA at DePaul Cristo Rey High School, this year's winner of the Mamie Earl Sells Scholarship, presented by Kroger.
DePaul is kind of my safe haven. It's exposed me to so many things and allowed me to do so much. They truly have helped me grow into the person that I am now.
When she was just 7 years old, Talia learned all about responsibility while taking care of her younger sister in a single-parent household after her mom was seriously injured in an auto accident.
It just started with me playing with her, making us small snacks, helping her with her homework. I just thought that I was being a good big sister.
Talia has earned the respect of faculty and students at the College Prep High School, where she was named class salutatorian and student council president.
When I think of Talia Grant, I think of excellence and gratitude. She has an incredible amount of potential and direction. She is a leader, but she leads by example and with humility.
Before I offer advice, I want to listen to what you have to say. I don't sugarcoat things, so I'm gonna tell you like it is, and then I'm gonna love you afterward.
I have rarely worked with adult professionals who have the sort of clarity that she has. She brings people together, and that is something that is rare.
Talia volunteers at Hugh O'Brien Youth Leadership, Dress for Success, and coaches younger girls in the sport of double dutch, while working at the Taft Law Firm in the school's corporate work study program.
I work there in litigation, and I love it. It sets me apart from other students, and for employers, it allows them to know that I actually have the experience to back up what I'm saying on my resume.
Talia has been accepted at the University of Notre Dame, where she eventually hopes to create a nonprofit focusing on immigration law.
Receiving the Mamie Earl Sales Scholarship means more to me than I think anyone understands, and I'm looking forward to, going to college and starting my new journey.
The YWCA salutes Talia Grant, winner of the 2020 Mamie Earl Sells Scholarship presented by Kroger. Congratulations, Talia. You are an impressive young woman, and I'm sure you'll have continued success as you make your way to the University of Notre Dame. The YWCA recognizes 10 scholars for their achievements. To see the runners-up and the honorable mentions who also receive scholarships, visit ywcacincinnati.org. The Charlotte R. Schmidlap Fund, Fifth Third Bank trustee, was created in 1908 in memory of Charlotte Schmidlap by her father after her tragic death to empower and uplift young girls. In 2008, the fund created a scholarship to provide financial support to women participating in YWCA programs to complete their post-secondary education. This support is crucial for YWCA clients to secure employment and financial stability, leading to independence and self-sufficiency. The 2020 Charlotte R. Schmidlap Scholarship Fund Award recipient is Brianna Moss. Congratulations, Brianna. Let's check our donation board.
We truly appreciate your donations and thank you for your support.
Remember, no amount is too small, and all the money goes to domestic violence services. And now let's hear from the voices that lead our community, the inspiring and impressive 2020 Career Women of Achievement. Our first honoree, Jennifer Loeb Gooden, Executive Director, Ronald McDonald House Charities of Greater Cincinnati.
My mom would ask me what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I said I wanted to be happy.
Meet Jennifer Loeb Gooden, Executive Director of Ronald McDonald House Cincinnati for the past 21 years, where she oversees a $7 million budget at the largest home away from home in the world.
We set out wanting to be the best house in the world, to have the highest standards, the best guest services and fundraising, and the families are so grateful to have this house.
Jennifer knew she wanted a career in public service after serving for more than a year in Morocco for the Peace Corps.
I was doing a lot of nutrition education, family planning, and vaccinations for women in rural Africa.
After earning degrees from Miami and The Ohio State University, Jennifer worked at homeless, mentally ill, and drug treatment centers before joining Ronald McDonald House in 1998.
Even my closest friends and family say to me, gosh, isn't it sad? Isn't it depressing to work around sick kids all day? And I tell them no, it's actually hopeful. The moments we get to share with these families are uplifting, joyful, true connections.
Jennifer has led the house through 3 expansions, and is just completing a 99-room, $52 million campaign, which more than doubles the size of the operations next to Cincinnati Children's.
The way I lead here is that everyone has a voice. I think it empowers the staff and the volunteers, and they feel much more connected. To me, it's all those voices together that make this place so special. You're most successful when you're authentic and you believe in yourself and you can approach your career with confidence.
In her spare time, Jennifer devotes all of her energy to her 3 children, who see their mom as an amazing role model.
I think the best you can do is just give yourself some grace. I can't imagine doing anything that I love more.
The YWCA salutes Jennifer Loeb Gooden, a 2020 Career Woman of Achievement. Wow, amazing, Jennifer. Congratulations on leading the largest Ronald McDonald House in the world. It's a real gem in our city. Next, Dr. Brandy Elliott, Director, Office of Ethnic Programs and Services, University of Cincinnati.
Whatever that dream is, whatever that passion is, go fight for it. It's there for you.
Presenting Brandy Elliott, the first woman to serve as Director of Ethnic Programs and Services at the University of Cincinnati, where she manages a scholarship program in excess of $2 million.
The Darwin T. Turner Scholars Program came about in 1976. It was named after the late Dr. Darwin T. Turner, who is the youngest graduate of the University of Cincinnati. He graduated from UC at the age of 16.
Born and raised in Cincinnati, Brandy thought she wanted to become a pediatrician. However, after enrolling at UC in 1997, Brandy earned 3 degrees while working her way up the ladder in the Office of Ethnic Programs and Services, first as a student worker and now as the director.
Currently, we have 202 students in the program. It's not race specific, but it's for students who have achieved in the classroom, and it's also for students that have a commitment to diversity and inclusion.
Brandy became a professor at UC last year, making her one of the most influential leaders on campus. She's also been recognized as a Staff Woman of the Year and a YWCA Rising Star.
I want our students, especially our young women, to know they can lead in spaces where they are the minority. We want students to know there are no limits. You can do whatever it is you want to do. I'm humbled that so many of our students, especially our young women, see me as a mentor. Be ready for opportunities. You're not just gonna fall in your lap. Sometimes you have to go out there and drive and motivate yourself to go get them. Have your voice, be an advocate for yourself, show up and show out.
Brandy admits having her husband Brandon working at UC in the same Student Affairs Division is a big help raising 3 children under the age of 5.
I have 3 little Bearcats. For me, it truly is work-life integration. We thrive together on campus. I've spent my whole career at the University of Cincinnati, and it's my identity. It's a part of my life, my makeup. Is it challenging? Of course, it is, but I smile through it. I'm very honored, and I thank the YWCA for this wonderful award.
The YWCA salutes Brandy Elliott, a 2020 Career Woman of Achievement. Brandy, you are a great role model for the students at UC, and I love your 3 little Bearcats, too. Our next honoree is Ronnie Luckenbill, Chief Executive Officer, Girl Scouts of Western Ohio. As a Girl Scout growing up with her family in a small town in Iowa, Ronnie Luckenbill never dreamed she would one day lead one of the largest Girl Scout councils in the country as CEO of Girl Scouts of Western Ohio.
I love my job. I think I have the best job in town, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. Girl Scouts is the largest and first leadership opportunity for girls ever.
After graduating from Grand Valley State University with an MBA, Ronnie worked for 3 councils in 2 states before coming to Cincinnati in 1989.
In Girl Scouts, we like to think that the girl stands for go-getters, innovators, risk-takers, and leaders. So this is an opportunity in Girl Scouts for girls to really have a voice and to speak out on behalf of other girls and young people.
Ronnie manages an operating budget of over $12 million and oversees a mostly female staff of 150, serving almost 40,000 girls from Cincinnati to Toledo and Southeast Indiana.
I believe that you have to love what you do to be successful, but I also think that you have to own your own career, and that's what I want girls to understand. I learned a long time ago that nobody was going to just hand me any opportunities, my next promotion, my next title, that it was up to me to set those goals and to achieve those career goals on my own.
Now in her 42nd year of scouting, Ronnie is chair of the group overseeing the $885 million Girl Scout cookie sale, the largest entrepreneurial program for girls in the world.
In the cookie program, girls are learning some important business skills like money management and goal setting, how to online market. They're also learning to be self-sufficient. Oh, by the way, my favorite Girl Scout cookie is a Thin Mint. It's the best-selling cookie out there.
The YWCA salutes Ronnie Luckenbill, a 2020 Career Woman of Achievement. I love Thin Mints too. You have impacted so many lives over your years in scouting. Congratulations. Iris Simpson Bush, President and Chief Executive Officer, PigWorks. She's been there for every mile of the world-famous Flying Pig Marathon, now in its 22nd year. Meet Iris Simpson Bush, recently named President and CEO of PigWorks, the new name of the nonprofit that raises over $1 million annually for 300 local charities with an economic impact of $15 million.
Naming ourselves the Flying Pig was a bit risky. We knew Cincinnatians would get it, but you have to attract from all over the country to be successful, and they got it.
Each year, more than 60,000 runners participate, representing all 50 states and more than 20 countries.
I think we stage over 165 aid stations, fluid stations, 150,000 spectators. We're really promoting a healthy lifestyle and wellness year-round.
Growing up in Cincinnati, Iris enjoyed a 30-year career in broadcast sales before reading a newspaper article in 1998 about Bob Coughlin's vision to bring a marathon to the region.
It helps individuals achieve a goal. We support them from that start till they cross the finish line, and to see the tears of joy is so very gratifying.
Iris manages a $7 million budget with a small staff of mostly women and is the former board chair of Running USA.
My style is inclusive. I try to let everyone have a voice. Bring your best game. Don't expect success, but demand that you get the opportunity to be successful.
In 2011, the Queen Bee Half Marathon was added, attracting more than 7,000 women runners and walkers.
Women have embraced running. I am so proud to say that now the major races in this country are run by women. We're good organizers. Our family is surrounded by females, and to watch them grow and develop their own sense of self-worth is indeed exciting. Oh my gosh, I am having so much fun. I feel I have the best job in the world. It's been a long run, and I hope it's much longer.
The YWCA salutes Iris Simpson Bush, a 2020 Career Woman of Achievement. The Flying Pig goes on with a new date in October, and this event helps our community in so many ways. Iris, we thank you for your dedication. Let's see how those donations are coming in. This is a great beginning. Remember, no gift is too small, and all of the money raised goes directly to domestic violence services. We have 4 more inspiring honorees, and then you'll hear from a special guest. Up next, Deborah Gentry Davis, Vice President of Human Resources, Hard Rock Casino, Cincinnati.
I love working here because of the energy and the excitement that you have every single day.
Deborah Gentry Davis is recognized as the heart and soul of Hard Rock Casino, Cincinnati. She's the VP of Human Resources, advocating for 1,100 team members while managing a $2.1 million budget.
I sort of think of myself as the Chief Culture Officer, making sure that our team members really enjoy their work here, that they have a good experience when they come, just like we want our guests to have a good experience.
After graduating from the University of Baltimore with a degree in business administration, Deborah started her career in 1981 when opportunities for women were limited.
We have women CEOs, women engineers, women astronauts, women architects. We can do absolutely everything and anything.
Deborah capitalizes on 39 years of business experience to help drive the casino's massive culture reorganization from Jack to Hard Rock.
One of the things that I try to do is to make sure that I have a warm smile at all times. I say hi to everybody. I use their name and let them know that I see them. I treat everyone with respect, and I take time to listen, and it makes a big difference. I think it's really important for young women in particular to be comfortable being uncomfortable. I think you need to be authentic. I think you need to be fierce, not be afraid about speaking up.
Deborah encourages women to develop a strong support system. For her, that's a 38-year marriage to husband James and 2 grown children.
I would strongly encourage young women early in their career, even though they may think they're too busy, to do some volunteer work and just find something that they have a passion about and then to go for it and do it. This is the only place I've ever worked where you could walk down the hall and just sing or dance. It's a really fun place to work.
There you go. The YWCA salutes Deborah Gentry Davis, a 2020 Career Woman of Achievement. Keep up the singing and dancing and having fun in the job you love. You're inspiring all of us. Introducing Mary Zala, Global President, Consumer Brands, and Managing Director, Cincinnati Landor. She grew up on a farm in northern Kentucky with dreams of becoming a veterinarian, never expecting to become a top executive at Landor, one of the largest brand and design firms in the world.
There's something about farming and design, to me, that's inherently related. Farming is creative, design has to be beautiful, and it has to work.
Mary Zala is the Global President of Consumer Brands at Landor, where she's also Managing Director of the Cincinnati office.
Everybody gets to participate. If I'm only leading by telling people to take my idea and run with it, then we've got the scale of 1, at Landor. If we're inspiring these great minds and the talent around us, our scale is limitless.
After graduating cum laude from Northern Kentucky University with a degree in communications, journalism, Mary began her 33-year career as a copywriter at an ad agency in 1987.
I got to write and create, but I also got to be with people and strategize, and I came to realize I wanted something much more collaborative for a career.
Mary joined Landor in 1998 and was eventually appointed Global CEO before stepping down 5 years ago to spend more time with her family. She now has 4 adopted children, ages 5 to 16.
I was traveling 60% of the time, and I'd get into a hotel room late and just be sobbing because I missed my kids. And I felt like if I can't be effective, that's not fair to my Landor family, who I adore, and love as well.
People in the business describe Mary as a confident, smart, poised role model and mentor in the Cincinnati office, where over 70% of the employees are women.
Rudy, you're back. I really try to mentor by helping them, understand that you don't necessarily have to have all the answers. You don't always have to be the smartest one in the room. You've got to value your imagination more than your image.
Mary encourages her employees to challenge their perspectives, like when she agreed to learn how to ride a dirt bike.
I was terrified of dirt bikes. I grew up with horses, so I actually went to motorcycle school. I got through it somehow, and we now have 5 dirt bikes in the family. I realized that it did open up a whole period of inventiveness and creativity for me at work and at home. I've got a wonderful, wonderful life.
The YWCA salutes Mary Zala, a 2020 Career Woman of Achievement. Mary, you're a champion for women, and perhaps we'll even see you racing on the dirt bike circuit in the future. Our next honoree, Verna Williams, Dean and Nippert Professor of Law, University of Cincinnati College of Law. Get to know Verna Williams. She's the first female African American to lead the University of Cincinnati's historic College of Law since its founding in 1833.
It's a big responsibility, and now it's on my shoulders. I've got a wonderful team of people that I work with on the staff as well as the faculty, and together we're going to work to move this institution forward for the next 187 years.
After graduating cum laude from Georgetown University and Harvard Law School, Verna became one of the few African American women to argue in front of the Supreme Court before joining UC as an assistant professor in 2001.
When I look back, I'm really kind of amazed because I didn't have a plan, but I was fortunate. You just have to be open and just take your career one step at a time. It's really important to stop talking and to listen to what other people have to say. I think that encourages people to speak up.
As the Dean of the College of Law, Verna oversees an almost $18 million budget while guiding 70 faculty and staff, supporting 450 law students.
It's all right not to have every part of your future mapped out. And it's all right to feel uncertain. If you didn't get the opportunity that you were dying for, it doesn't mean that your life is over. It doesn't mean that your career is lost. And who knows, you may end up doing something that you love that you didn't anticipate. I mean, that certainly is what happened to me.
Only recently was Verna allowed to tell the world she had been working on an 8-year secret mission with a former, now famous classmate from Harvard.
Last year I revealed a secret. I had been working with former First Lady Michelle Obama in preparation for her book, Becoming. Now, I didn't write her book, but I did serve as the oral historian for the project. And every so often it would just hit me, oh my God, I'm in the White House.
While Verna has always been there for her husband David and 20-year-old daughter Allison, she acknowledges it's hard for women to have it all at the same time.
If there were any advice that I would give to women is to cut yourself a break. You don't have to be perfect. Just do the best you can.
The YWCA salutes Verna Williams, a 2020 Career Woman of Achievement. Verna, your accomplishments are outstanding and continue to give all of us strength and protection. Up next, Jeannie Railing Gallagher, President and Chief Executive Officer, Cincinnati Development Fund.
I'm a person of action. Unleash me and let me at it. Hi.
She's fondly known as the fairy godmother of economic development. Get to know Jeannie Gallagher, President and CEO of the Cincinnati Development Fund for the past 22 years.
When I was a little girl, I wanted to be the next Janis Joplin. I really wanted to pursue a career in the arts. As I got older, my dad said, hey, you can't make a living that way.
When Jeannie finally gave up her pursuit of performing, she earned a degree in finance from Xavier University before launching her career in 1983 with an entry-level job at Eagle Savings.
Hi, this is Jeannie. There were not many women at all in management positions, and we formed a support group that we affectionately called the GLOBs, the Glorious Ladies of Banking, and we still get together to this day.
Once Jeannie joined CDF, she spearheaded the growth of the fund's assets to $56 million today, with a loan portfolio in excess of $250 million.
We've been able to provide much-needed financing for projects that benefit women who need it the most. Projects like the Anna Louise Inn, the Scholar House, and I'm helping to lift as I climb.
Jeannie encourages women never to be afraid of pursuing their career goals.
It's empowering to take risks. Never turn away from opportunities that come your way. If you see an opportunity that speaks to your heart, that speaks to your spirit, grab it and make it your own.
Industry experts claim Jeannie is a charismatic, inspiring, and courageous role model and mentor for women.
I don't like to sit around and talk forever about how things should be. I appreciate the opportunity to learn something new every single day.
Over the years, Jeannie and her 18-year lifetime partner, Greg Badger, have welcomed several youngsters from Spain.
To have had the privilege of hosting these children and nurturing them, mentoring them, it has enriched my life like nothing I ever could have imagined. And I get up every day and just say, wow, I am the luckiest person in the world.
The YWCA salutes Jeannie Gallagher, a 2020 Career Woman of Achievement. Jeannie is the fairy godmother of economic development. We admire your persistence and enthusiasm for contributing to the success of so many women who need support. Congratulations to all of the 2020 YWCA Career Women of Achievement honorees. We are inspired by your work and recognize the influence you have on the success of our region and your embodiment of the YWCA motto, lift as you climb. Let's take a look at the donation scroll now. We really appreciate your donations, and be sure to share this opportunity with your friends. Just send a text message to the number 44321, then in the message type "on a mission," all one word, and finally click the link in the reply message to fulfill your pledge. You'll be supporting the victims of domestic violence. Remember, $25 feeds 20 survivors living in the shelter for a day. $50 supports 2 survivors needing court advocates. $75 covers shelter and services for 1 night for a survivor and their children. $100 allows 5 survivors to attend weekly support groups. Our domestic violence clients thank you for your support. Now it's my pleasure to introduce this evening's special guest, Patty Brisbane. Since founding Pure Romance in 1993, Patty's drive to empower and educate women and her truly inspiring leadership abilities have transformed the company into a multi-million-dollar business. This has made Pure Romance one of the industry's foremost companies, as well as a credible resource for women's sexual health education and the second largest women-owned business in the greater Cincinnati area. Patty lives the YWCA mission of empowering women through her entrepreneurial success. Meet Patty Brisbane. So Patty, I'm sorry that all of the women are missing seeing you in person, but at the YWCA luncheon, now virtual, you were going to talk about your pillars of empowerment. Can you walk me through those?
I can walk you through those, but first and foremost, I want to say thank you so much to the YWCA for having me as their speaker. I'm so honored to be able to do this, and I'm sorry that it cannot be in person. But more than that, I want to say congratulations to all the winners. I hope that they're able to celebrate themselves today and all that they've achieved.
It is really special.
It is special. It's such an honor, and I am grateful that I've been able to be inducted. So about my 4 pillars, the first pillar is choices. So it's about choosing. And I remember when I made the choice to start my own business, I didn't know what that was going to be about. I didn't know how I was going to get there, but my choice was to have more quality time with my family. I didn't want to live paycheck to paycheck anymore. I wanted to be able to call my own shots. And I wasn't sure how I was going to do it, but I remember it was all about the choices and that I chose. I set my family down and I said, this next year is going to be extremely hard, but we're going to get through it. Next pillar is taking action. Taking action isn't always an easy thing to do because sometimes that's where we want to give up. But what we have to do is we have to become very focused. We have to get out there and decide how is it that we're going to start this business. For me, it was going to the library. I was in the medical field, so I really surrounded myself with a lot of doctors and nurses because I knew what I wanted to do when I started this is I wanted to provide information to women. I wanted to have a safe environment. I wanted to be able to provide those aha moments of them learning about their bodies and about themselves. I wanted to not just be about the product, but I wanted to know about the product, and I knew nothing about those products. So I went to the manufacturers. I sat down with the people who were creating, and I learned about those products. So I could be that resource. I could be the person that could explain why this product might be necessary in your life. And then it's about surrounding yourself with good people, with great people. It's all about making sure that you have the right people in place. And, and that's where the greatness comes. I was so afraid that I was not going to be able to provide every bit of care that was going to be needed to take care of a business. But you know what I did? I went on the hunt of finding those right people. When you have good people, your business stays healthy and alive. And so it's getting out there, and don't be afraid. Do you know how many people pick up the phone, students that say, Patty, I'm in this class right now, and can I interview you? Can I talk to you about how you started the business? And you know what? I have never said no. And the reason that I don't say no is because I remember I was in her or his shoes at one time or another.
I do that same thing.
There you go.
I do that same thing.
You have to do that. You have to be there.
People helped you, and so you're helping others.
So there goes my fourth one. It's lift as you climb. And that's the YWCA's mantra. And you know what? That's a great one. Believe it till you become it. In the beginning of my business, I was still learning. I was still growing. And you know what? I'm still staying a student. It's important to stay a student because life changes. Sexual health changes. And so therefore, if you're not staying a student, you can't provide those aha moments. You can't continuously grow your business. A little support goes a long way. So lift as you climb.
So you've outlined the 4 pillars of empowerment that you live by, but what advice do you have for people on changing their situation and staying on track with those goals?
For me, it's about passion. I am so passionate about this business and not listening to the negativity. If you're passionate about something, keep going at it. I can go back to my first pillar. It's about my choices. I chose to put in all that hard work and dedication to my business. And now I do get to call my own shots. I can choose the projects that I want to work on. So you will recycle your choices over and over again. And that's what's the beauty. Just stay passionate and stay focused.
Now, speaking of support, I want to switch to the YWCA, which is why we're here today. Why do you personally, Patty, support the YWCA mission to empower and change the living situations of women?
They're teaching our youth, our at-risk youth, on how to take care of their bodies, how to care for their bodies, how to understand their bodies. What does a healthy relationship look like? And I will always be there because empowering women is huge for me, and this is what they're all about too. And I admire the YWCA. I admire Barbara Perez for all of her dedication and what she's doing. And let me tell you something, you need to give back to this cause. Pull out your credit cards, whatever it is that it takes, because they need you right now.
These are the things that the YWCA works on every day to ensure that the people in our community can be the best that they can be. We work really hard to ensure that women who are being abused by their domestic partners are in safe places. We're working really hard to eliminate racism so that justice and fairness can occur for all. And we're working really hard to ensure that women are in a place of economic fairness and equality. I believe that as a career women of achievement, we have a responsibility to support the YWCA and ensure that this work continues as we move our community on to be the best that it can be.
It has been an honor to be with you this evening, and it's great to see what a giving community we have here in Cincinnati. Now, there is still time to give. All donations are welcome and appreciated by those in need of your support. Thank you so much for giving. For the YWCA, their Career Women of Achievement, and the student honorees, as well as Local 12, we thank you for your donations and for joining us for this special broadcast. I'm Sheila Gray. Have a great evening.
Lakshmi and I thank you for joining us for this very special evening. Congratulations to all of our honorees.
We appreciate your donations and thank you for your support.
Thank you all for joining us this evening, and we look forward to you joining us again next year.
YWCA Career Women of Achievement.
really such a big part.
Teenage child, if I don't have the courage to speak of achievement, salute.
If you or someone you know is in danger, call our hotline. Now more than ever, it's critically important to know the YWCA Greater Cincinnati is ready to help you lead a life free of domestic violence. The YWCA's 24-hour hotline provides safe, protective shelter, crisis counseling, risk assessment, safety planning, and more. Remember, you have the right to feel safe in your relationship, and you deserve to live your life free of violence.
Become part of the conversation and join the YWCA for our 21st annual Racial Justice Breakfast. This digital event takes place September 16th from 8 o'clock till 9:30 a.m. The focus is on hate and bias in our immigration system. And our special guest speaker is Christina Fialho, the co-founder and executive director of Freedom for Immigrants. For more information, visit ywcacincinnati.org.